Now that the summer of love has become the moss of tunnels and the shadowy mouths of tunnels and all the tunnels lead into the city, I'm going to put the one largely forgotten, swaying figure of Eddie Easterwood right in front of you so you can watch him swamp fruit out of an orchard in the heat of an August afternoon. I'm going to let you keep your eyes on him as he lifts and swings 50-pound boxes of late Alberta peaches up to me where I'm standing on a flatbed trailer and breathing in tractor exhaust so thick it bends the air, bends things seen through it so that they seem to swim through the air. It is a lousy job, and no one has to do it, and we do it. We do it so that I can show you even what isn't there, what's hidden. And signed by time itself. And set spinning, and is only a spider, after all, with its net waiting for what falls, for what flies into it, and ages, and turns grey in a matter of minutes. The web is nothing's blueprint, bleached by the sun and whitened by it. It's what's left after we've vanished, after we become what falls apart when anyone touches it, eyelash and collarbone dissolving into air, and time touching the boxes we are wrapped in like gifts and splintering them into wood again. At the edge of a wood. 2 Black Widow is a name no one ever tinkered with or tried to change. If you turn her on her back you can see the blood-red hourglass figure she carries on her belly, small as the design of a pirate I saw once on a tab of blotter acid before I took half of it, and a friend took the other, and then the two of us walked down to the empty post office beside the lake to look, for some reason, at the wanted posters. We liked a little drama in the ordinary then. Now a spider's enough. And this one, in the legend she inhabits, is famous, and the male dies she eats its head after the eggs are fertilized. It's the hourglass on her belly I remember, and the way the figure of it, figure 8 of time and infinity, looked like something designed, etched or embossed upon the slick undershell, and the way there was, the first time I saw it, a stillness in the pattern that was not the stillness of the leaves or the stillness of the sky over the leaves. After the male dies she goes off and the eggs live in the fraying sail of an abandoned web strung up in the corner of a picking box or beneath some slowly yellowing grape leaf among hundreds of other leaves. In autumn, the eggs smaller than the O in this typescript or a handwritten apostrophe in ink. What do they represent but emptiness? Some gold camp settlement in the Sierras swept clean by smallpox, and Wind Canal School with its 3 rooms, its bell and the rope you rang it with and no one there in the empty sunlight, ring and after ring and echo it magnifies and I can't explain it. Piedra, Conejo, Palia. Stars and towns, blown fire and wind, Deneb and Altair, invisible kindling, nothing above nothing it magnifies and I can't explain it. 3 Expressionless spinster, carrying time's signature preserved and signed in blood and hidden beneath you. You move 2 steps to the right and hold still, then 1 step to the left, and hold still again, motionless as the web you wait in, motionless as the story you wait in and inhabit but did not spin and did not repeat. You wait in the beehive hairdo of the girl sitting across from me in class, wait in your eggs, for wait in the hair the girl teases and sprays once more at recess. Lipstick, heels, tight sweater, leather anklet. The story has no point but stillness itself, absence in a school desk, the hacked and scratched names visible in the varnished wood, no one there, the bell with its ring and after ring and echo in class. I remember, she would look back at me with a gaze deeper than calm, blanker than a pond's scummed and motionless surface, beneath which there was nothing, nothing taking the shape of someone who had already drowned but could not die, and so sat in class because she had to, because that was the law. Mrs. Avery went on and on at the blackboard so we could know who Magellan and Vicino had been, or sometimes she would make the boy who spoke only Spanish read from a book. Watch him as he used his forefinger to point at each syllable he would read and mispronounce, and stumble over, and go on. And this isn't much of a story either, but it's one I know. One afternoon in August, 2 black widow spiders bit Eddie Easterwood. He killed them both and went on working, went on swinging the boxes up to me. In a few minutes the sweat bathed his face until it glistened, and still he went on working, and when I asked him to stop he would not and instead seemed to begin to dance slowly in the rhythms of the work, swing and heft and turning back for another box, then swing, heft, and turning back again. and within a half hour or so, without him resting once but merely swinging box after box of peaches up to me in the heat, the fever broke. 5 In the middle of turning away again, he stopped dancing, he stopped working. He seemed to be listening to something, and then he passed out and fell flat on his back. It looked as if he had gone to sleep for a moment. I let the idling tractor sputter and die, and by the time I reached him, he had awakened, and, in the next moment, his face began twitching, his arms and legs danced to something without music and then stiffened, his jaws clenched and his eyes fluttered open and turned up white. I made a stick from a peach limb and tore the leaves and shoots off it and stuck it between his teeth as I heard one was supposed to, and, in this way, almost killed him by suffocation, and so took the stick out and threw it away. And later lifted him by the one arm he extended to me and pulled him up onto the bed of the trailer. He dangled his legs off the rear of it. We sat there, saying nothing. It was so quiet we could hear the birds around us in the trees, and then he turned to me, and, addressing me in a name as old as childhood, said, "Hey cowboy, you want a cigarette?" In the story, no one can remember whether it was car theft or burglary, but in fact, Eddie Easterhutter was tried and convicted of something, and so, afterward, became motionless and silent in the web spun around him by misfortune. In the penitentiary the lights stay on forever, cell after cell, they call their names out, caught in time ring, and after ring, and echo in the story. The girl always dies of spider bites, when in fact she disappeared by breaking into the jagged pieces of glass littering the roadsides and glinting in the empty light that shines there. 6 All we are is representation, what we appear to be and are not, and representation is all we remember, something hesitating and looking back and caught for a moment. God in the design on a spider's belly, standing for time and infinity, looks back just once, then never again. We go without a trace. I am thinking. We go and there's no one there, no one to meet us on the long drive lined with orange trees, cypresses, the bleaching fronds of palm trees, and though the town is still there when I return to it, when I'm gone the track is empty beside the station, and the station is boarded up, boarded over. The town is overgrown with leaves, with weeds tall as window sills, window glass out and dark inside the shops. The classrooms and school are gone, and the bell, and the rope to ring it with, and the boy reading form the book, forefinger on a syllable he can't pronounce and stumbles over again and again. All we are is representation, what we are and are not, clear and then going dark again. All we are is the design or insignia that misrepresents what we are, and stays behind, and looks back at us without expression. Empty road in sunlight. I once drove in a 48 Jimmy truck with 3 tons of fruit on it and the flooring beneath the clutch so worn away I could see the road go past beneath me. The oil-flecked light and shadow picking up speed. Angel and Johnny Dominguez, Eddie Easterhutter, Jaime Barcar, and Coronado Solaris, Querido Flaco 7 and the one called Dead Rat and the one called Camelius. We go without a trace. I am thinking. Today you were lying in bed, drinking tea, reading the newspaper, a look of concentration on your face, of absorption in some story or other. It looked so peaceful, you reading, the bed, the sunlight over everything. There is a blueprint of something never finished, something I'll never find my way out of. Some web where the light rocks, back and forth, holding me in a time that's gone, be at the windowsill and the cold coming back as it has too, tapping at the glass, the figure in the hourglass and the body swinging in the rhythm of its work, the body reclining in bed, forgetting what it is, and who while the night goes on with its work, the stars and the shapes they make, cold vein in the leaf and in the wind. What are we but what we offer up? Gifts we give, things for oblivion to look at, and puzzle over, and set aside oblivion. Resting his cheek against a child's striped rubber ball in the photograph I have of him, head on the table and resting his cheek against the cool surface of the ball, the one that is finished spinning, the one he won't give back. Oblivion who has my face in the photograph, my cheek resting against a child's striped ball. Oblivion with his blown fires, and empty towns. Oblivion who would be nothing without us. I am thinking, 8 As if we're put on the earth to forget the ending, and wander and walk alone. And walk in the midst of great crowds, and never come back.